look up at the night sky. Count the stars you can see. A few thousand, maybe a few hundred. Now understand this. In the observable universe alone, there are more stars than grains of sand on every beach and desert on Earth. 2 trillion galaxies, each containing hundreds of billions of stars. Many of those stars have planets. Many of those planets are the right temperature for liquid water, for chemistry, for life. The universe has been running for 13.8 billion years. That is more than enough time for intelligent life to have risen, built civilizations, and spread across entire galaxies thousands of times over. So here is the question that keeps physicists awake at night. Where is everyone? The sky is silent. The radio telescopes pick up nothing. Just silence. And that silence is one of the most terrifying things in science. In 1950, the physicist Enrico Fermi sat down for lunch with colleagues and asked a simple question. If intelligent life is common in the universe, where is it? Not a complicated question, but nobody has been able to answer it in 70 years. We call it the Fermi Paradox. And the deeper you dig into it, the more unsettling it becomes. Let us do the math. Our galaxy alone is 100,000 light-years wide. It is 13 billion years old. Even with technology far slower than the speed of light, a civilization could colonize the entire Milky Way in just a few million years. That sounds like a long time. But compared to the age of the galaxy, it is nothing. It is less than 1% of 1% of the time the galaxy has existed. If even one civilization arose a billion years before us and began expanding outward, they would have reached every corner of this galaxy long before our sun was even born. They would be everywhere. We would know about them, we would see them, but we do not. We see nothing. We hear nothing. We find nothing. Everywhere we look, the universe is empty and quiet. So what is the answer? Scientists have spent decades building explanations. None of them are comforting. The first possibility is that intelligent life is simply extraordinarily rare. Perhaps the steps required to go from chemistry to consciousness are so unlikely that they have only happened once in the observable universe. Here, on this planet. Perhaps we are not one civilization among billions. Perhaps we are the only one. The universe is 93 billion light-years wide, and we are the only minds inside it. That thought is not reassuring. It is terrifying. The second possibility is the great filter. The idea that somewhere along the path from simple chemistry to spacefaring civilization, there is a barrier. a step so difficult that almost nothing gets past it. Something that kills civilizations before they can reach the stars. It could be the jump from simple cells to complex cells. It could be the evolution of intelligence itself. It could be something we have not thought of yet. Now here is the question that matters. Is the great filter behind us or ahead of us? If it is behind us, if the hardest step was something we already survived, then we are the lucky ones, the rare survivors, and the future might be open. But if the great filter is ahead of us, if every civilization that reaches our level eventually destroys itself, with nuclear weapons, with engineered viruses, with artificial intelligence, with something we have not invented yet, then the silence of the universe is not evidence that we are special. It is a graveyard, and we are next. The third possibility is darker still. Maybe they are out there. Maybe they have been watching us for a long time, and they have decided, for reasons we cannot understand, not to make contact. This is called the zoo hypothesis. The idea that advanced civilizations treat emerging ones the way we treat animals in a nature reserve. You do not interfere. You observe from a distance. You let them develop on their own. Or perhaps the silence is deliberate for a different reason. Perhaps the universe is dangerous. Perhaps any civilization that announces its existence is signing its own death warrant. This is called the dark forest theory. The idea that the universe is full of life that has learned to stay silent. That every civilization is a hunter hiding in the trees, waiting, listening. And the moment you make a sound, something comes for you. We have already made sounds. We have been broadcasting radio waves into space for over 100 years. A sphere of radio signals 200 light-years wide is already expanding outward from Earth in every direction at the speed of light. If anyone is listening within that sphere, they know we are here. We sent Voyager with a golden record. We pointed radar at nearby stars. We have been shouting into the dark for a century without knowing what might be listening. In 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up a signal. It was so unusual, so perfectly structured, that the astronomer who found it wrote one word in the margin of the printout. Wow! It has never been detected again. We do not know what it was. We do not know where it came from. We do not know if it was natural or artificial. It remains the strongest candidate for an extraterrestrial signal ever detected. And it came once. And then the universe went silent again. Here is the most unsettling version of the answer. We have been looking for radio signals, for laser pulses, for megastructures around stars. But we have been looking for civilizations that think like us, that communicate like us, that build things like us. A civilization 1 billion years more advanced might not use radio waves any more than we use smoke signals. They might operate on principles of physics we have not discovered yet. They might be everywhere, and we simply do not have the instruments to see them. The universe might be full of life that is completely invisible to us. Not because they are hiding, but because we are too primitive to notice. We do not know the answer. We may never know, but the silence is real. The sky is enormous, and it is empty, and it is quiet. And every night we point our telescopes at it and ask the same question Fermi asked over lunch. And every night the universe gives us the same answer: nothing.